Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave. Don't need anybody getting in trouble around here. Come on back when you are 13. Or when YouTube decides that it's actually okay for family-friendly content to be seen by all. So yeah. You're still watching, aren't you? Turn it off. Turn it off now. Parents, where are you? Do your job.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video, and excuse the mess on the sides as this box is huge and it doesn't really fit the review area as nicely because my review area is not designed for this giant box. And this is Diamond Select Toys, the real Ghostbusters, San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive and a GameStop exclusive of the Spectral Ghostbusters, along with the I think it's like a Spectral or Ghost form Terror Dog and an Angry Stay Puft. But I mean, the box is very wicked. I love the Ghostbuster logo, and the artwork they used looks great. Now on camera it looks a lot crisper, but in person, like Ray's face and stuff is actually a little bit blurry. So it's almost like they didn't have a vector image to scale it up that far, or they might have did it on purpose. I don't know, but it picks up on camera very, very well. And I am super, super stoked to have this package for sure. This box is ginormous, but inside we get some real Ghostbusters artwork, which is awesome. I mean, the real Ghostbusters, I grew up with it. So to see that artwork on the box, on the front and on the inside is awesome. And this is a box I'll probably keep because it is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And these were collecting dust in some of these GameStops around me. And that was due to the price point. But you get this nice window showing off the figures. You can't really see the Terror Dog. This is up in the top corner and it's blue, so it sort of blends in there. But we get the Spectral Ghostbusters, we get the Angry Stay Puft, and we get the Only at GameStop logo on there. Now looking at the back of the box, you actually can see the figures that are included, all in their spectral glory. And there's that little Terror Dog right there that you can see because of the lighting and the packaging and all the reflectiveness, all the trademarks at the bottom. But we do get a read-up information, so feel free to pause it and read that. The Spectral Ghostbusters do not disappoint out of the package, even with the little bit of issues I've had with them, which we'll get into details, but they look amazing. And if you guys aren't familiar with Spectral Ghostbusters or the real Ghostbusters, these are suits that were covered in the Gozer, Stay Puft, Marshmallow Man, goo, slime, or whatever after they defeated Gozer. These were the suits, and then they ended up, you know, creating spectral versions of themselves out of the dirty clothes. It's just from all the gloop and stuff. And that episode was pretty epic, and these figures are pretty epic. I love the translucent green. I'm a sucker for green, and the fact that the little spots that you see on these figures are actual glow in the dark, which I'll be showing you after we get into some details about the figures. But accessory wise, they all come with their proton packs and everything. They're equipped. We'll look at them closer, you know, when we review one of the figures. But separately, they each come with a ghost trap. Now, this is a ghost trap we've seen before with the other real Ghostbuster figures, but this one has the marshmallow slime gloop on it. One thing I wished that would have been different is that every time you get these, there's like a crazy crimp right there on the cable, which is never a fun thing. But we do get 4 of these, and they all have their little slime gloopy spots on it, and it does glow in the dark on these as well. Now, you can't be a Ghostbuster and have a proton pack without a proton stream. And since they are the spectral forms, we get a spectral form proton stream, which looks awesome, casted in that translucent green plastic. The wrapping is more of a rubberized, softer plastic, but the actual
stream is a hard plastic, so definitely be careful because there are no extras in case you break it at the bottom or, you know, anything like that. So definitely be careful with these streams. Now, up close and personal, you know I got to start with my boy Venkman. And again, I love the translucence to the plastic they used. They got like the weird, like almost like smoky essence coming from the eyes. And I love the eyeliner, the lip liner. It just adds that level of creepiness to his face. And they're practically the same molds we got with the real Ghostbusters, which it's funny, I'm reviewing these guys and I haven't even reviewed the full set of the other real Ghostbusters. I'm so backed up, but I figured, you know, I've had this giant box taking up space. I need to review this set first. And as you can see, it's got the gloop and the glop all over that proton pack. And yes, this is the real Ghostbusters. That's why it's the cartoon version of everything. That's why it's not going to look like, you know, the movie ones. But it still looks good. Now, one issue out of the box, a lot of my proton, like the wands, were all warped out of the package. Like, just super warped. And I'm going to have to heat those up and fix that, which is unfortunate. But the paint is pretty clean when it comes to the proton pack. Even with the warped wand, it looks really good. Now, issues I do have are starting to see, like, around the collar, a little bit of chipping going on. Have that on another, I think Egon has a couple little chips and even some chips on his shirt. So some of the paint chipping is there, and with some of the paints, and this goes with joints, so it's not me picking on Diamond or anything like that, because they do make an amazing product. The detail and the paint they put in their products is definitely top notch, but you can see that joint, how it's painted. With any joint, and any joint that gets painted, when you bend that elbow, you can see the paint just comes off. That's inevitable. It's you have plastic that's so super close that it's going to end up chipping off that plastic on that elbow joint. So there's nothing you really do about it unless you just don't move it, which is ridiculous. I'm not diving into articulation with these guys. If you want to see articulation, you can go back and check out some of my other Ghostbuster reviews and the future Ghostbuster reviews, because I have a huge pile of these guys to go through, from Ghostbusters 2 to finish the real Ghostbusters, because I want to build that firehouse. So I'll go into articulation with those, but since this is such a bigger package, a lot of figures to go over, we're going to make it as simple as possible. But look at all the gloop, all that gloop glows on them. Looks amazing. One thing I am surprised that all of them don't have anything on their boots. They're gloop-free boots, which you would think that these would probably be the most covered, you know, the explosion or whatever, a Stay Puft, they'd be walking through a lot of gloop. So that's the only issue. I'm like, man, you got some really, really clean boots. But I love the way Venkman looks. Here we got Egon up close. Same mouth liner. His mouth is okay. It's got like, oh, that was just a little chunk of something. Must have been the paint that was chipping off, but his mouth has eyeliner, his eyes have eyeliner, he still has his glasses on, and they still got he has the essence coming from the eyes too, like a smoky aura essence out of the corners of his mouth and eyes. And that hair is awesome. I love the real Ghostbusters. I grew up with that cartoon, and Ghostbusters in general is just awesome. It's a great series. There's some chipping you can see, but hey, it doesn't really matter as much. I mean, these are wore out, you know, flight suits. Marshmallow areas, you know, are a little bit different per figure with where the gloop is, and you can see he is warped as well. But again, a little bit of heat and stuff can fix that. Love the way these things look. That little bit of green gloop doesn't line up where the white is, but it's okay. Again, this stuff isn't, you know, I don't know how the glowing gloop should be, you know. I haven't destroyed Gozer in Stay Puft marshmallow form. So, yeah, these guys are so cool. Here we got the creepy smile Ray. Now, again, they use the same sculpts as the other figures, and this guy just, with that thin line of black paint and the eyeliner and everything, it just super, super creepy. And you got the same essence or smoke coming out of the side of the eyes, side of that mouth. Not that mouth for some reason, but it's definitely okay. Again, the marshmallow splotches are all sort of different for these figures, but bodies and everything else are identical to the other real Ghostbusters that we've received. See that again, warped wand. Going to keep pointing that out, and then clean boots. But again, I'm really looking at super close up at these faces because they're really, really amazing. The hands are all translucent green as well. If you guys haven't seen, they're just translucent green hands. We don't get any alternate hands with these figures, which we'll be getting into with Winston. That's why I saved him for last. I wish we came with alternate hands or extra hands and extra, proton streams, because, proton streams feel like they might be able to break. And then the hands will get into some details. But look at that. That's so creepy. Winston looks the most serious of them all. Like, Egon sort of had a gritty mouth. Both Ray and Venkman both had smirks, but this one, Winston's just like, we gotta be serious, guys. And it's just awesome. It's a weird little speck that he has right on his cheek. And all the gloop and stuff. See all that all over his body. On his back. So, not a bad overall set of Spectral Ghostbusters. Now, the issue I was having is their wrists and stuff there, they move. They're on hinges. All of them work very well. And then it came to Winston's hand. It is locked up, and I went to move it once, and as you can see, there is stress right in the plastic. It's already at the halfway point. If I were to try to force it, it's going to break. Like, you got that part that plugs in, then you got that little piece, and I could try heating it up, but I'm afraid that I'm going to break this, and I don't have a hand to replace it, and I don't even know if Diamond Select has replacement hands for these, as this came out back in 2019 for the San Diego Comic-Con. I'm very concerned about this, so it sort of sucks because I can only have my Winston at a certain... This hand's basically hindered. Maybe I'll have him holding a ghost trap or something, but that's one of the disappointing parts of this set so far. I don't care about the paint. The paint's fine, even little pieces, parts missing, little chips and stuff. It doesn't matter. This is what really scares me.
So here I had to bust out the black light on these guys just to show that their gloop and stuff glows under black light. It looks very cool, very weird, but also when I turn off the light, that is badass. That looks so freaking cool. Now, the Ghostbusters were not the only thing that glue. All the ghost traps have some of that gloop on them as well. Glows so well. Yes, it looks awesome.
Now we have the Spectral Terror Dog, and what's great about this is you can have them be Zool or Vince Clortho because of the fact that we got the small horns and they give you the Spectral long horns. So that's cool that they did that. Now, they did that with the original Terror Dogs when they released them that weren't in Spectral form. And I was really concerned. I'm like, man, I got one Terror Dog. I need the other one, and I don't have another one. And what's crazy is a good friend of mine, you guys hear me talk about him all the time, Shoky from Shoky Reviews. He ended up going to some shop, and he sent me a picture of some of the Ghostbuster figures. I already had them, and some of them were to the rooftop scene, which I'm not building, so I was not going to build. Yeah, I never had intentions to build the rooftop. I just wanted the firehouse. And he sent me a picture of a Terror Dog that was the non-spectral form, and they had it for like $25, and I'm like, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. And so I will be reviewing the original Terror Dog. So now I'll have two, one be in Spectral form, one be in regular form, which to me, I'm okay with that. I don't need them both to be identical. I like the fact that they'll be two different figures. The Terror Dog up close looks awesome, full of detail, just like the original one, but it doesn't have a lot of paint. The paint we get are the red for the eyes, which make this figure just really pop. And what's great about it, and I didn't even know, their mouths move. So he has a hinged jaw, so you can really add some attitude towards, with this figure, just attitude. But you can see it's translucent plastic. You can really see all the joints and stuff and the little pieces they used to put them together. And I did notice while I was trying to move them, like if they don't have a pinhole, if you can really see that, let me see, focus, there we go. If it doesn't have a pinhole, this one does not. So this one doesn't have the bend like as if it's like a normal like knee joint and stuff like that. I was trying to bend it, but I didn't want to do it too much because of the fact that it'll probably break. So they got to have little pins, and just like the detail on this thing is wicked. Now, I have had a lot of people complain saying the Terror Dogs have too big of legs and limbs, as they should be a little bit shorter and stockier. I'm okay with them having bigger, lankier legs. Now, articulation-wise, you saw the hinged, jaw. His neck moves right here. So he has a neck movement. He even has the head that can move there. So lots of attitude you can actually get out of this thing. And the neck does move. I don't know if it rotates, but I guess it's sort of a little bit of, not much up and down movement that I can really feel. I'm trying to actually move it, but his arm or leg, whatever you want to call it, does have that nice joint there. Can really do, some good movement when it comes to that. I'm flipping them all up and down because he has tons of articulation. So he has the bend there. He has the, can do some butterflies. Does have the ankle bend. There's not any really pivot in the paws, which I would have liked because I can't get it. Or if they're there, it's not really wanting to move for me, and I'm not going to force it. Then he does have the ball jointed, crazy, good amount of articulation out of this type of torso. And his back legs can pivot. And a lot of these right here too, I didn't mention, they do have the pivoting at the elbows. This sort of rotates like so. I guess you can, it does do. Joints are tight on this guy. So it can move that way. This doesn't, this is the joint that I was really unsure of and what it can do. It could definitely rotate, and you could see the spots on there where it looks like it would bend like a knee, but it doesn't really budge, and I wasn't going to force it. So that's as much movement you get out of that joint. So be careful not to break it. These other ones down here, since it has the pin, you get the movement, ankle bends, no pivot in the feet. Now we got Boss Hogg, Gozer, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man himself that came with this set. And this is another identical figure that we already got with the real Ghostbuster wave. So besides them remolding everything, we did get a new head, an angry head. So he's not happy, he's angry. And it looks awesome. I can never have enough Stay Puft Marshmallow Mans. I would love to get the original again. I had it as a child, and I want to get the original back. It's just hard to find one where it's not all stained or scratched all the heck. It's just, I want a good condition, but I just don't want to pay an arm and a leg, unfortunately. But eventually I will have original original Stay Puft Marshmallow Man back in my collection. But these figures that Diamond has released, again, they nailed the Ghostbusters. Mezco released that set, and I know to this day there's so many people that are sitting on them, or they're just not moving because it's just, they're okay, but Diamond Select just been nailing it. So figure itself is a big boy. He is big, heavy, bulky, reminds me weight wise, if if I would just say. Reminds me of Oogie Boogie. If you guys collect Diamond Select's Nightmare Before Christmas figures, he definitely has that weight like Oogie Boogie. So they didn't make him super hollow to where you're just like, oh wow, he's just a hollow piece of plastic and it's not fun. He has girth and weight to him, as he should, because he's Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Looking at him up close, let's bring him in. That face sculpt is fantastic. I love it. Love it, love it. He has a little bit of speckles there, but love it. Stay Puft written on there on the hat. Very clean. He's got his little red sash or tie or whatever you want to call it on top of the hat. We do get his little red painted thing too. We got a little extra red on top too. It happens. It's nothing too crazy. But the figure is just a giant... It's just a giant white marshmallow man. And I love the paint job of it. I don't even know if this is being brought up on camera as much as I would like it to be. But it does have hues. Like they airbrushed where his arms connect, where they, go into a new marshmallow with a light blue. They light blue airbrush. There you go. You can see it that way. And it looks awesome. Just little accents like that just makes this white figure just pop. Now you guys are probably like, all right, he's a big hunking chunk of plastic. Does he have articulation? And of course he does. So his head, actually, you can see, that's the gnarly part. I'm not a fan of that. But you got to do what you got to do with these big figures. They could have just left it as is and not do anything. But we can actually lean his head up and down. Doesn't seem like we can get much attitude out of it. But full rotation. You can rotate the head all the way around. So you get some head up, head down, rotation. That's what we get with this head. Arms, there are rotation in here. And they can go up. So they can go up a little bit. So it's like the full rotation in a sense. Like a little joystick. But this part definitely rotates. Rotates at the elbow. Don't know if it has any bends or anything, because it's Stay Puft. You get something going on there. Wrist rotation, I don't see anything to show that his wrist can bend, so I'm not going to try to do it. But there are points of articulation there. And his legs, same thing, you get the rotation there, but he does have the ability to kick his feet up. All types of motion. You hear all that noise, listen to it. Oh yeah, make that noise. But his feet do move as well. So a lot more articulation than a lot of people probably would expect from a figure of Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So hats off to Diamond Select for making another amazing Stay Puft. I love Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I just, like, out of Ghostbusters, I know a lot of people like Slimer and, things like that, but I really, really like the design and the look. I just really like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now, real Ghostbusters wise, you got some of those characters like the Boogeyman that'll cause kids to have nightmares. All I can say is I love this set. I am super grateful I was able to obtain one, and anybody that bought it for retail cost, it's worth it. Like, there is no reason not to get it at the retail cost. The only reason I didn't right away is just because I just didn't have the funds. And luckily I was able to pick it up on clearance or with a discount from GameStop. But retail price for this thing is way worth it. You get a ton of figures, a ton of plastic in these figures, great paint apps, and I mean, they're awesome. They're awesome. If you're a Ghostbuster fan, they're must-haves. In my opinion, they're going to be on a shelf with your other Ghostbusters, and it's going to get people asking questions, and it gives you the opportunity to explain to them why they're Spectral Ghostbusters, and it's awesome. I'm looking at them on camera with you guys after, reviewing them, and I just can't be happier. It just puts a smile on my face, sends me back to, when I was a kid watching Ghostbusters, eating Ghostbusters cereal, and it also makes me crave a Ecto Cooler. Come on, High C, release them again, because I really, really want some more. But besides that, that sums up my unboxing and review of the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive and GameStop exclusive Real Ghostbusters set by Diamond Select Toys. If you guys like what you saw, please hit that thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when I post up a new video. Make sure you guys also check out Diamond Select Toys. Their website's going to be down below, so you can check out what's coming out with them, because they do a lot more than just figures. So definitely show some love to Diamond Select. Also, for your other collecting needs, check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. Website's down below with a promo code that gives you free shipping on anything you purchase off the website. So definitely check it out. And if you want to join up, there are 2 Toyco Facebook groups. You got the community where you can interact with fellow customers and collectors and trade figures and talk figures, all that good stuff. And then you also have the pre-order group where pricing is the best. I have yet to find anybody that beats Andrew and Toyco's pricing. Big Bad Toy Store, Megalopolis, and Entertainment Earth can't come close. So definitely check out Toyco and that pre-order group, because I already have tons of stuff pre-ordered myself. I know I got the Storm Collectibles Raiden pre-ordered, Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 3 pre-ordered, I got Storm Collectibles Lobo pre-ordered, I got Storm Collectibles Golden Axe Skeletons pre-ordered, I got the Mayfex Hush Batman pre-ordered. Like, all these pre-orders, like, going through Toyco, because 1, the price is amazing, and then 2, because the figures are great. Those figures are going to be freaking awesome. But definitely show some love to Toyco. And for anybody else that's looking for that nice tight-knit close family of collectors, Plastic Cannibals is it. It's my group I created because I was tired of other groups full of scalpers, everybody that will buy out a bunch of one figure and then try to make some profit off of it. And so we all came together. You know, I was picking out fellow collectors, and once they got in, they were picking out fellow collectors, so we could talk figures and really feel like kids on the same block, you know, talking figures, playing with figures, you know, it just going back to that feelings. You know, we need to, you know, just have conversations about stuff, show off collections. And I don't care if you're collecting Beanie Babies, Funko Pops, Hot Wheels, My Little Pony, whatever the heck you want to collect, as long as it's a toy and a collectible. Come on in over to Plastic Cannibals, answer the 3 questions, and come on in and let's just have a good time. So definitely check that out. At the end of the video, you see a little image that says Plastic Cannibals. When you search Facebook for Plastic Cannibals, it's the same image. So if you see that, that's the group I'm talking about. So I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.